Are you savory or are you sweet? Hey, it's Kimberly and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you two of my favorite breakfasts. They are savory oats and sweet oats. Let's get into the first one. This is going to be my savory oats recipe. I've got mushrooms, avocado, kale, oats, nutritional yeast, seasoning, and salsa. I'll start off by chopping up my mushrooms, and then I'm going to be cutting up half an avocado to add to it. You want to start with your fire on a medium to high heat just so that it boils quicker, and you add 1 cup of water. Then I start by adding my mushrooms in and my seasoning so that it can just cook for a little, and I'm basically waiting for it to get to a boil. Once it's boiling, I'm going to add a half a cup of oats and stir that in, and as it starts to thicken, I'll then continue to add the rest of my vegetables. Also, once you've added your oats, you can turn your fire down to medium or medium-low. And I also decided to add in some cherry tomatoes. Combined, this only takes about a couple of minutes, but you'll want to just keep stirring and watching as it starts to thicken. And then I'll be adding in my nutritional yeast just for some added flavor. And finally, I'll be adding in my kale. You can choose any type of vegetable that you want to add, but I choose kale because it's nice and hearty as well. And I'll mix that in and stir it again until it starts to thicken even more. I like my oats to be pretty thick, so once it gets to my desired consistency, I'll turn off the fire and add it to the rest of my remaining ingredients. I like to add a little avocado to the bottom of the bowl so that it starts to get creamy and a little bit melty consistency, and then I'll add the rest of it on top.
And then we're going to rise above this.
And last but not least, I top it with some salsa and I am good to go. This is literally my favorite breakfast ever. If I'm ever looking for like a hearty breakfast, something that's going to time me over. The oats itself is great, but then adding in the savory flavors, at first you're like, what? I first started with sweet oats, so that'll be the other recipe. But once I found out about savory oats, I was just like absolutely sold. It's so good. It's just a completely different texture. It's just much more comforting. It's not sweet at all. It is my favorite. You can add whatever vegetables that you want. Some people hate mushrooms. I love them, so that's why I actually added so much. I didn't even use all the ones I cut up. I have some left over because I was like, okay, that's being a little bit extra. But the game changer for me is the salsa and the avocado. Like, it's just so freaking good. Like, I could have this every single day for the rest of my life and be fine. If you want salsa, you don't have to do it. You can drizzle some other sauce on it if you want, or have it without sauce, but I like the tanginess of the salsa added into the oats. So I do that. You can add seasoning or not add any seasoning. I just like that one. And then I add a little nutritional yeast just because. Most of this is just because kind of ingredients. They're not things that you actually have to. But you can make it anyway. I'm so curious if anybody else has made this, what other things that you put in it, and then I'll show you my sweet oats one as well. Here are my ingredients for my sweet oats recipe. I've got maple syrup, peanut butter, hemp seeds, blueberries, strawberries, and of course oats. And I'll be making these in the microwave. You can put it on for 60 to 90 seconds as it says. And these are the same measurements, so half a cup of oats to 1 cup of water. You stir it up and then you put it in the microwave. I ended up doing a happy medium of 80 seconds. And then I started to chop my fruit in the meantime. Once the oats are done, I quickly add peanut butter so that it can get all melty and mix in. I just ended up using 2 because I was clearly running out of the first one. And then I'll be adding in my fruits, so my strawberries, my blueberries, and I'll be topping it with some hemp seeds. Drizzling on some maple syrup, and we are done. I just end up mixing it all together and it is ready to eat. So here is my sweet oats. I can talk a little bit more about it. So normally what I do is that I add bananas and berries, sometimes frozen berries, because it's like a nice juicy taste when it melts. But my bananas were really ripe, and I like when they're super ripe to just be used for smoothies. So I didn't use any bananas. So I had a ton of strawberries and a ton of blueberries added. I added some hemp seeds for extra protein, and then I like to do a little bit of drizzle of maple syrup on top. And it is delicious. It tastes like dessert. This will keep me full just like the other one for many, many, many hours. So there you have it. 2 easy recipes for your breakfast. Are you savory or are you sweet? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.